Something has to be done and fast. That's what the Dane County Sheriff says about his aging jail as county leaders continue to debate a handful of multi-million-dollar plans.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Thursday, May 2nd. If you're having a hard time getting out of bed again this morning, you're not alone.
No,
all three of us did.
Oh man, all week.
The struggle's real.
All
4
of
days.
The naps.
Yes,
yeah.
It's been a mess.
But it's coming to an end. We do have sunshine in the forecast soon.
Finally, yeah.
One more
day with the cloudy conditions and some rain in the forecast. Here's our view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. We have some fog this morning. You're not going to be able to see a whole lot as you look outside early today. There it is.
Oh my.
I promise you, I have the camera pointed at the Capitol.
Oh wow.
We just can't see anything this morning. Visibility is down to a half a mile in Madison, half a mile in the Dells, just a quarter of a mile in Juneau. Monroe now added to the foggy list with visibility less than a mile there as well. So be aware of that fog this morning. There are also some showers that are drifting into southern Wisconsin. Best chances for rain will be south and east of Madison, although I think we will still have the potential to see a few raindrops here in the capital city as well. Rain chances confined to the morning hours, then just cloudy this afternoon. High temperatures will be in the middle 50s. It might be a little slower on the commute this morning with that fog across southern Wisconsin, so be careful. No major delays right now, just the usual crowds starting to show up on Verona Road as well as Stoughton Road. No accidents in the area. I looked around all of southern Wisconsin, so good news. You're still traveling at posted speeds heading into the capital city.
Boy, folks, take it slow out there. The fog is so thick.
Slow down a little bit today.
There's your warning. Thank you so much, Addie.
You're welcome.
All right, 6:02 is your time right now. There's a new #1 on the New York Times bestseller list this morning, The Mueller Report. It's also #1 on Amazon's bestsellers list as of yesterday. This after Attorney General William Barr's testimony on Capitol Hill. Barr spent 5 hours answering questions from lawmakers on why he didn't charge President Trump with obstruction of justice. Barr was supposed to appear in front of the House Judiciary Committee today, but says he will not appear as scheduled. That means he could be held in contempt of Congress. That House committee hopes to hear from Robert Mueller himself on May 15th.
After another rainy week across the Midwest, people in Iowa are experiencing some of the worst flooding they've ever seen. Downtown Davenport flooded after the Mississippi River broke through a levee earlier this week. The river ended up cresting at nearly 22.5 feet, just shy of the record flood stage set back in 1993. As water slowly recedes there, flooding concerns are carrying down the river. St. Louis is bracing for its 4th worst flood ever.
Later today, the Dane County Board will hear 4 options for a new jail. All carry a price tag of at least twice the $76 million they originally budgeted. The least expensive option at $148 million is to build behind the public safety building. This was first introduced a few months ago, but at the time the board wanted more options. After a firm researched everything from fixing up current facilities to building a brand new one, this South Tower building is still the cheapest. At a community meeting last night, people said they didn't want any money going to a new jail and instead would like to see diversion programs. But Sheriff Dave Mahoney says something has to be done because the current space is inhumane.
You come into jail, as a gentleman did, sentenced to 6 months in jail, confined to a wheelchair. The only place that he could be housed was in solitary confinement in a 6-foot by 9-foot box.
Sheriff Mahoney actually first started out his career in law enforcement 40 years ago at the jail. He says since then, not much has changed. He hopes this time is different. There's no public comment on this issue at the meeting tonight, but there is still plenty of time. The options will go to committee, which will make a proposal for one. The county board chair says they likely won't have a decision for what a new jail will look like and where until June.
More local news now. Police over in Cross Plains are investigating who's responsible for $25,000 in fake bills that a resident found this week and turned into police. Officers say the $100 bills all had the same serial numbers, had a small Chinese symbol on them, and the texture wasn't quite right. All signs that they were fake. That money has since been turned over to the Secret Service for analysis. Police are reminding their community to keep an eye out for any suspicious-looking cash, especially $100 bills. Counterfeit bills a problem down in Rock County, too. 3 people are in custody this morning after trying to use fake money at Emilio's in Janesville. Police say the restaurant reported 2 customers passing the fake bills, then leaving the store. Officers found those suspects at a nearby Super 8 hotel. Two of those original suspects, 34-year-old Elijah Robinson and 18-year-old Marquis Harris, both from Chicago, were arrested. A third person was also taken into custody, 26-year-old Janya DeJairo, on outstanding warrants. So far, just two businesses in the area have reported counterfeit bills. Police are working to figure out if there are still more out there.
6:05 right now. A controversial Rastafarian church that just moved downtown is now suing the city of Madison. The Lion of Judah House of Rastafari says the city and police have violated their First Amendment rights. The church found a legal loophole to bring marijuana to Madison. The city sent the church a cease and desist letter last month, and now the church's leaders say the city has no authority over them, describing the city's actions as threatening and harassing.
Flags across Dane County will be flying at half-staff today. Governor Evers authorized that decision in honor of Middleton police officer Katie Barrios. Barrios died last week after battling a malignant form of brain cancer. In a statement, the governor says he and his wife send their deepest sympathies to Katie's husband, her children, her family, and her friends. Barrios' funeral is happening today over in Mount Horeb. All right, 6:06 your time now. Here is your chance to think globally and act locally right here in our community.
Mount Horeb's 9th annual Walk for Water is this weekend, but it's not your typical 5K. Christina Laurie joins us live from there this morning with
Good morning, Josh and Leah. So I've done a lot of 5Ks, and the goal is usually to be as light as possible. Well, that is not the case with the 5K happening here at Grundle Park this Saturday. In order to understand what it's really like to live in a developing country where water is seen as a luxury, all walkers will start the race with an empty bucket. Then halfway through, they'll fill it up and carry it back for the remainder of the race. Now, this race is mainly a fundraiser for Living Water International to raise money to drill a well in a village in El Salvador that doesn't have clean water. That's the next mission trip for a group of do-gooders, much like the ones that traveled to Honduras from Mount Horeb last summer. It costs around $5,500 to drill a well in Central America with Living Water International. So the money raised this Saturday will be used to pay for that and much more.
We go to bring water, but for the week that we're there, they just welcome us in. We get a chance to interact with them and play with them, and we just become part of their family for that week. We may not have the same language, but we share the same passion and love for our kids.
This October, volunteers will travel to El Salvador to drill that well, and as long as you have a bucket, you can still sign up. Sign up is here again at Grundle Park at 9 a.m. this Saturday, and then the run and walk starts at 10 a.m. But runners, don't worry, you don't have to carry a bucket. Can't imagine how hard that would be.
What a meaningful project, and great weather for it this weekend.
It really will be. Saturday's going to be incredible.
Perfect timing. All right, Christina Laurie reporting for us this
There's
morning.
really no excuse.
Thank you, Christina.
All right, 6:08 is your time. So Leah's trying to get us all to go on a hike this weekend. It definitely looks like a great weekend to get outside. But first, we just have to get through one more day of rain chances. We can do it. Hattie's in next with her forecast.
And if you're a parent, you know kids will try to eat just about anything they can get their hands on. Well, new numbers show a rise in kids going to the ER after eating things they shouldn't. We're going to talk with our medical expert, Dr. Mandira Mehra, about what parents can do to prevent it when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio on this Thursday morning. Don't need the umbrella just yet, but I may need it a little bit later on this morning. Some rain is in the forecast. Let's take a look, though, at our visibility. That's the most pressing issue that we have this morning. Fog has developed across parts of south central Wisconsin, and visibility is less than a mile in several locations, from Juneau over to Mineral Point, Monroe up to the Dells. We're looking at visibility less than a mile, so be careful this morning. Also watching some light shower activity spread into southeastern Wisconsin early this morning. Those showers will continue to work their way off to the north and east. Further down to the south, there's some pretty widespread rain. Now, the bulk of the precipitation from this particular system will stay south of the state line, but it will clip parts of our viewing areas. Some of those rain showers may make it as far north as Madison this morning. Here's a look at your GFS Future Track forecast model. It does show the rain spreading into Madison from, I'd say, a line from Platteville up to Madison over to Sheboygan this morning, coming to an end, though, for the afternoon. Skies begin to clear out tonight, setting us up for a nice amount of sunshine tomorrow morning. Clouds may stream in from the west, though, later in the afternoon on Friday. There's just a slight chance for a shower. Our future track precipitation expectation, less than 1/4 of an inch in all locations. So just some light rain today. Here's a look at weather track, which is satellite and radar combined. We have a lot of clouds in the area. There is a little band of clearing, but that is moving away from us this morning. Our clouds are moving up from the south, so not a lot of sunshine in our forecast today. Where skies are cloudy, it's a little bit warmer, 40s, even 50s on the map this morning. To the north, though, we have temperatures down in the 30s. Here's a closer look at our viewing area. 42 here in Madison, 45 in Lone Rock, 40 in the Dells, and 40 in Juneau. Gets into the 30s, though, a little bit further to the north and east. Here's a look at your future track forecast model. And again, expect some light scattered showers through the morning, diminishing after lunchtime today. Some clearing is possible to the west late this afternoon. That will allow temperatures to climb a little bit higher. Here in Madison, forecast high is 56 degrees. That clearing trend, though, continues overnight tonight with a little bit patchy fog developing tomorrow morning. Temperatures will drop into the lower 40s. Your extended forecast has 60s. Finally, it's been a long time. All week we've been cooler than normal. We're back to 60 on Friday with sunshine for the first part of the day. A few more clouds for the afternoon. Definitely looking at all sunshine on Saturday with high temperatures in the upper 60s. We'll be close to 70 again on Sunday. Let's get a look at your First Alert traffic maps now with Jason Ryan. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. You know, as she said, the morning fog that we've got at the moment could make for some interesting driving, so please be careful during the early commute. No issues at all on the Belt Line. Both directions are free and clear of any delays. Most of the highways around Dane County also clear, but just a touch north of Sun Prairie, Highway 151 is backed up right around Highway VV. Also, Verona Road and Highway PD starting to jam up due to the construction in the area. Downtown streets are clear with no problems. Your drive times are around normal, but best to go a little slow until the fog burns off later this morning. With First Alert Traffic, I'm Jason Ryan.
If you have a little one, you probably know there's no shortage of things they'll try to put in their mouths, right? But new research shows more kids are actually swallowing those items, and that's leading to more trips to the ER. Dr. Mandira Mera is joining us from SSM Health this morning to talk about what parents can do to prevent that. Good morning.
Good morning, Leah. So you're absolutely right. When you become a parent, you think to yourself, wow, I've never felt a love like this. But in reality, it's you've never felt a fear like this. And one of the many fears that you have as a parent is, what can my child ingest or swallow that could really cause them harm, possibly death? So lots of studies have been looked at over the past 20, 30 years. This is a very large study that looked at thousands and thousands of children and ER hospital visits over 21 years. And interestingly, ingestion of possibly scary things, toys, batteries, magnets, jewelry, has increased astronomically. And so we're really trying to figure out why this is and, of course, what we can do to prevent this. Things at the top of that list include, of course, children's toys, batteries, jewelry, and then other smaller items that children just are curious and can ingest. You have to remember, as adults, we don't just typically put things in our mouth to learn what they do, but children explore this way. They're curious, and they, of course, don't know what can possibly cause them damage or harm. So things that we can do to prevent this, there's always tips out there for parents, is first of all, use age-appropriate toys. So I know it's really tempting to say, well, my child's only 3 years old, but this 5-year-old toy looks so cool. The problem is that older toy doesn't necessarily have approved sizing or approved parts for the younger child.
Sure.
The second thing we can do is batteries. Battery ingestion has gone up significantly. Perhaps that's because everything we use technologically uses batteries. So camera batteries, cell phone batteries, things that we don't think of, like greeting cards that have batteries in them as well. Really keeping those out of the hands of children, putting them in safe places, not even letting them play with them, because you never know when they'll ingest that. For women as well as men that may wear jewelry, of course, putting that away also. Interestingly, of all the things that children can ingest, the battery may cause the most damage and can be really harmful. So there's always a choking hazard, but also just to the GI tract itself. The last thing we can do is, of course, put pressure on our lawmakers to just really have very good advocacy groups and really just warning labels on things like tools and screws and coins are also at the top of that list. So money is, you know, omnipresent. Really just making sure to put those coins away and not let little children play with them. Under the age of 6, very high risk.
All right, some really good information there. Dr. Mara, thanks for joining us this morning.
Great to be here.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, so we are trying to stay positive this morning, but there's
everything we can.
There's not a lot to look at with this forecast.
What is that?
This is our camera shot, the WISC-TV Sky Cam. Looks like it's broken this morning, but it's not. It's just really foggy outside. Another one of those mornings where it's very gray, hard to get out of bed, but just patience. One more day with rain and a little bit of fog. cloud cover, and then we have
tunnel vision to that weekend.
Better forecast for the weekend. Yeah, let's head over here and talk about that weekend forecast. It is foggy this morning, half-mile visibility here in Madison, 3/4 of a mile visibility in the Dells. Other spots are dealing with fog as well, Monroe and Mineral Point. We have some fog in Juneau this morning, likely some fog in Watertown, although the sensor is not working early today. Here's a look at the radar map as well. Some showers spreading into southeastern Wisconsin, affecting areas south and east of Madison. This activity may lift a little bit further to the north, so we have the potential to see some raindrops here in Madison. 42 degrees is where we start this morning, 45 in Janesville. It's only 40 in Juneau. A little bit warmer for southwestern Wisconsin. Platteville and Boscoville, you're the warm spots this morning with 47 degrees. Here's a look at your bus stop weather forecast. As the bus picks you up this morning, cloudy skies, chances for rain through the lunch hour, with temperatures back to 50 then. As you head home from school, we're looking at a high in the mid-50s today. Clearing takes place tonight, which sets us up for some sunshine tomorrow.
All right, Hattie, thank you. It is 6:22 this morning. A high schooler in Platteville is breaking barriers and making history.
This is my favorite story of the morning, and it's from my neck of the woods down in southwest Wisconsin. Emily Buchholz will be the first female recruit to ever enlist in the Wisconsin National Guard as an infantry soldier.
Wow.
She took her oath to join on April 19th. Emily originally planned to enlist in the Marines, but she changed her mind after her dad put her in touch with the National Guard recruiter in Platteville. She'll undergo basic training at Fort Benning down in Georgia.
That's incredible.
Aren't you so proud of her? The first female.
And locally. I mean, that's just, yeah, that's an incredible story. I can't wait to kind of follow that.
I mean, obviously I'm biased, but some pretty cool women come out of southwest Wisconsin.
Heck yeah, they do. You're here.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh. Congrats to Emily. So if you're like most people, you probably just replace a broken or worn out appliance rather than getting it fixed.
While manufacturers like that, our landfills do not. Last year in Madison alone, people threw out over 326 tons of electronics. We've become a throwaway society, but it wasn't always like that. People used to get things fixed. The problem these days is finding someone to fix an appliance or lamp. Enter Kiefer Appliance on Monona Drive. Wayne's been in the repair business for decades, and his son Kip has recently taken over the reins. This shop is the only one like it in the upper Midwest.
Wow.
That's crazy. So customers, they ship things from all over the country to get fixed here. The internet and the Postal Service is helping to keep those doors of Kiefer Appliance open.
If we didn't have the mail, we'd be in trouble.
So there's a need.
Oh, there's a need, yeah. But like I say, if we could get parts, we could fix a lot more things. But we just can't get the parts.
Wayne says the customer base trend's a bit older, mostly people who are used to getting something fixed rather than just tossing it out. Tonight on News 3 Now at 10, our Mark Kane tells us more about Kiefer's business and how we can help our planet by getting things fixed.
I love this local business giving back, and keeping those folks in business is great too.
Only place in the Midwest, and people sending stuff from all over the country. Just incredible.
Bit of a good lesson. Don't give up on stuff.
There you go, even though sometimes it's easy to throw something out.
Yeah, it is.
All right, 6:24 this morning. Still ahead for us. Area high school students are honoring the firefighter killed in last summer's explosion in Sun Prairie.
We'll have more on that. Plus, the health department makes a visit to a fast food restaurant in Rock County after this video shows its kitchen infested with bugs. Hard to even look at. More local news is coming up on News 3 Now this morning.
Republicans in the state legislature say they're going to cut out several major parts of the governor's budget proposal, including one that brought thousands of people to the Capitol.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and happy Thursday. Thanks for staying with us on this May 2nd. Still, we're in May and it's not really feeling like it.
No, and if you've taken a peek out your window yet, you might not see much of anything. It's so foggy outside. A fair warning for your drive into work. Hattie, can we see you out there on the patio?
A little bit, although it definitely is foggy behind me. Have a tough time seeing all the cars in the parking lot this morning. So we have had some fog develop over the last couple of hours in southern Wisconsin. Take a live look this morning from our sky camera shot in Platteville. That's one place where we can actually see a little bit, but you can see there are a lot of low clouds in that area as well. Visibility in Platteville is not as bad as it is other places. 3 miles in Platteville, down to a quarter-mile visibility here in Madison and Juneau, just half mile in Monroe. So be aware of that fog early this morning. Plan a little extra time to get to your destination. There also are some rain showers beginning to move into southeastern Wisconsin this morning. These showers are generally pretty light and should move through the area pretty quickly, but that rain chance continues for mainly areas south and east of Madison through the morning hours. We're dropping still here in Madison down to 41 right now, 40 in the Dells, 47 though still in Platteville. So as you head out the door this morning, a few showers through the morning hours, then temperatures getting back into the 50s this afternoon. Probably not going to see a lot of significant clearing until later on tonight, but temperatures should top in the mid-50s later on today. Let's get a look at those first alert traffic maps now. We'll see what's happening. Still pretty quiet on the roads. Just a few brake lights showing up on the Beltline right around Stoughton Road, but no issues downtown just yet. Your drive times heading into Madison, a little slower on Verona Road with that construction zone, but otherwise no issues to report right now.
Yeah, definitely in the morning you're going to want to have those headlights, those fog lights, any kind of light you can have on out there.
Yeah, make yourself visible.
All right, Hattie, thank you.
You're welcome.
First this half hour at the state capitol, Republicans are planning to kill some of Governor Evers' major proposals next week. In a memo yesterday, GOP leaders said they plan to remove more than 70 policy items from the budget in their first vote, which is scheduled for next Thursday. Those lawmakers intend to remove the governor's plan to expand Medicaid, legalize medical marijuana, and cap enrollment in private voucher schools. Evers can reintroduce those proposals as separate bills outside of the budget.
Republicans say they'll also cut out Governor Evers' proposal to allow undocumented immigrants to get driver's licenses. GOP leaders in the Joint Finance Committee made the announcement yesterday. It came as immigrant workers and supporters rallied at the state capitol for the Day Without Latinx. Up until 2007, anyone in Wisconsin could get a license, regardless of their immigration status. It's the plan the undocumented community says is crucial to living a normal life.
We don't have to live with that fear, and we want to be able to go to school and not have driving be a barrier.
Republican Assembly Majority Leader Representative Jim Steineke tweeted, quote, "Illegal immigrants are breaking the law, and we should not validate that by extending privileges."
More local news now. 2 police officers are being credited with acting quickly to handle a pretty scary situation at an area high school this week. On Monday, police say 2 teens pointed a gun at a Middleton student from their vehicle. Police and school officers were able to work together to identify that car from security cameras. They were able to then find the car and the teens inside, parked at Jefferson Middle School. The kids had 3 BB guns with them. They're now facing charges for possessing weapons on school property. Officers say just because these were BB guns doesn't make the situation any less serious.
We do know that there are a lot of teens who are carrying real guns. So if you're driving around with a fake gun and you point it at somebody who has a real gun, again, there may be real bullets being fired in your direction.
Both of the teens arrested are students at Memorial High School. Police are now investigating reports of car windows being shot out by BB guns in that school's parking lot to see if the 2 incidents are connected.
6:32 right now. A video posted to Facebook shows a Rock County fast food restaurant riddled with bugs. Check this out. Hopefully you're not having breakfast right now. This video was taken at Taco John's in Newville on Monday. It shows the store's kitchen covered in ants.
That is so gross.
It really is. The Rock County Health Department says they were made aware of the issue, but says the restaurant had it fixed by the next day. Tonight, students in DeForest will be honoring the member of Fire Captain Corey Barr, who was killed in last summer's deadly explosion. The DeForest Area High School Band and Choir are holding a dedication concert for Captain Corey Barr tonight. The band's director has known Barr's widow, Abby, since they were in college. He says he wanted to do something to honor Corey's sacrifice and give his students a lesson in finding strength through community. Abby Barr will be in attendance at that concert tonight. It starts at 7 at the DeForest Area High School Performing Arts Center.
So heartwarming to see how the entire community, our entire area, has really continued to step up for Corey Barr's widow and for that whole family.
And yeah, we're going to be coming up here on the year this summer, so just incredible to see that support continuing.
All right, 6:33 your time now. When I was at the Forward Madison FC game last weekend, there was one section of seating kind of hard to miss.
Yeah, well, we're going to tell you about the story behind these pink chairs and how they're benefiting kids in the Children's Hospital. Keep watching News 3 Now this morning.
All right, so it's been a while since we've seen a day nice enough to get a walk-in around the Capitol Square. That's okay, though. Julie's got us covered with this beautiful shot of the Capitol.
What is that blue sky right there?
Oh, we don't remember.
Well, I wish we did remember.
Hopefully, Julie, the next time you're taking a walk up there, you are seeing some green leaves and some sunshine. Thank you so much for sharing.
So what does your morning look like? Take a picture and post it to our Channel 3000 social media pages. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning so Lee and I can pick out our favorites and air them right here on the show.
So the community of Mount Horeb is rallying together this weekend to raise awareness and money for a cause most of us take for granted: fresh drinking water.
Saturday is the town's annual Run Walk for Water, but something you can't tell from the name, it's much more than your standard 5K. Christina Laurie is live in Grundall Park with this year's mission. Hi, Christina.
Come this Saturday, this park will be packed with hundreds of people who will, of course, be running and walking. But more importantly, as you said, they'll be helping to raise money for a problem we don't often think about, having fresh drinking water. And what makes this event so unique is that the people who will be helping to raise that money Saturday are, and as well as building those wells, are from right here in the Mount Horeb community. Now, every day around the world, millions of women and children have to walk an average of 3 miles just to get water for their families through the day. It costs around $5,500 to drill a well in Central America with Living Water International. So the money raised this weekend will be used to pay for that. The walking part of this Saturday's race simulates the trek many people have to do every day in developing countries. They'll start the race with an empty bucket, and then halfway through the walk, participants will fill that bucket with water from Stewart Lake and carry that back for the rest of the course.
We use water here in so many ways. You know, even this morning I could say, you know, shower, brushing teeth, drink of water, you know, all of the toilet facilities we have access to. None of that is commonplace in Central America.
New this year, there's also a 5K run, but runners, don't worry, you don't have to carry a heavy bucket while running. That's for walkers only. I've got my bucket here, and if you'd like to participate, you can still register. Registration opens at 9 o'clock in the morning this Saturday. You can also still register online. I've put a link on how you can do that up on our website, channel3000.com. But the race, it kicks off at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and it's supposed to be beautiful weather, Josh and Leah, so there's really no excuse.
A great day to do something good. All right, Christina Laurie live in Mount Horeb this morning. Christina, thank you.
6:39 your time now. The next time you go to Breese-Stevens Field, there's a new section of pink you cannot miss.
I love the story. Don's Home Furniture and Forward Madison FC teamed up to make custom chairs for patients and families at the American Family Children's Hospital. There's 16 chairs, all of them the best seats in the house with front row action. Each one is made out of 950 recycled milk jugs. They're also weather resistant.
How cool.
The man who helped design the chairs said a lot of thought went into making them just right.
We specially designed the chairs to be a little taller. We specially designed them with a little different back to them and a little wider arm and a little wider footrest to them, so that it would be easy for them to get in and out if they had some, complications from, surgeries.
Blaine added these chairs give kids a chance to escape the stress that can come with staying in the hospital for a long period of time. He says he hopes this can be their little escape, even if it's only for a few hours.
Now, all of the renovations over at Breese-Stevens Field for these soccer games are really cool. You guys have to go and check them out. But the thought and the consideration that went into these particular chairs is amazing.
And they're going to be front row action. I mean, like he said, a little bit of an escape just for a few hours. I mean, I can just imagine the bright faces on them.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
All right, bit of a foggy start to your Thursday morning. You're definitely going to want to slow down, take it easy on your way to work or school, because this is what you're looking at, folks. Not a lot. Hard for us to see much of anything on the sky cam this morning, but we're looking ahead anyway to the gorgeous weekend forecast.
Yes, we deserve it, right?
Right. Hattie's in next with that.
But first, it is May 2nd, and we want to say happy birthday to Dylan and all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with News 3 Now this morning. We welcome you back at 6:44 this morning with a live look outside right now, or trying to see something out there. This is East Wash at 2nd Street looking towards the Capitol, but what Capitol?
This has been the scene all morning, folks, or the lack of one, actually. So this is your warning. Be careful on your way into work.
Give yourself a few extra minutes.
Yes.
All right, the Brewers will take on the Rockies for Game 4 of the series this afternoon, hoping, by the way, for a better outcome than last night's 11-4 loss. But two fans are looking back to Monday's win as a match they'll never forget.
Luther Brown and Brian Ozorko met just hours before that game. Both men were on a plane flying into the General Mitchell International Airport. Luther is a veteran, and when Brian heard that, he said what happened next just felt right.
I asked him if he had ever been to Miller Park before, and he said no. And so my next instinctual question was, do you want to go to the game?
I said, are you serious? He's like, yeah. And he's like, my friends bailed on me, and I think you seem like a great guy, and you want to go see the Brewers.
Two complete strangers bonding over baseball.
That's so cool.
So they got their bags and headed to Miller Park. Luther, by the way, served in the National Guard for 12 years overseas and is relatively new to Wisconsin. He says he does plan to go to another game with Brian, and this time the tickets are on him. Today's first pitch is at 12:10 this afternoon at Miller Park.
All right, 6:45 right now. We just showed you those foggy conditions out there. We're hoping our Hattie McLean can clear us out. Any good news out there, Hads?
Well, we have to be patient. It is going to be a kind of a foggy start. I think the roof will be closed today at Miller Park. Here's the view, or lack thereof, from our sky cam this morning. Just can't see anything here on the west side of town. We have been talking about a lot of rain, though, so let's transition into rain talk for a couple of seconds. Flood watches in effect from the state line all the way down to Texas this morning through the midsection of the country. It has been a very wet time this week, and just over the last 48 hours, again, here's total rainfall. You can see from Chicago all the way down into Oklahoma, we're looking at multiple inches of rain. So a very wet weather pattern. Unfortunately, it continues today. Now, the severe weather threat begins to shift a little bit further to the east. Again, it doesn't include anything close to Wisconsin. We're just expecting a little bit of light rain. Here's a look at Doppler track this morning. Still cold enough for snow up to the north, but it's all rain and thunderstorm activity across Illinois this morning. We're on the northern edges of this particular system, so chances for rain as you go north of Madison are pretty small today. Most of that rain will be confined to the southern part of the state. This area of low pressure will continue to ride to the north and east, and we'll see the clouds persist across southern Wisconsin, as well as the chances for rain, mainly during the morning hours. Here's a look at your probability of precipitation. Again, highest between 10 and 12 here in Madison, so that's our best chance to see some light rain showers. It will dry out again this afternoon. Here's a live look again, though, from the station. We're not able to see anything. Visibility is down to 0 in Monroe, just a quarter of a mile at the airport here in Madison, quarter of a mile in Juneau, 3/4 of a mile in the Dells. Visibility now reducing a little bit in Platteville as well. So be aware of the fog this morning. Temperatures underneath that fog are generally in the 40s. Not a bad start to the day. Our future track forecast model does a pretty good job showing you these rain showers moving through the area, mainly from Platteville over to Madison up to Sheboygan. That's where you see the best chances for rain through the morning hours. Again, those showers do diminish this afternoon. Some clearing possible in our western viewing area late today. We'll most likely stick with cloudy skies here in Madison with highs in the middle 50s. Clearing, though, is expected overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, so sunshine after a little bit of fog burns off early tomorrow morning. Total precipitation today is likely going to be on the light side, less than 1/4 of an inch for southeastern Wisconsin. Here's a look at your extended forecast. We have temperatures getting back into the 60s, a lot of sun tomorrow morning. Likely see some clouds move in for the afternoon with a slight chance for a shower. Still on track, though, for highs near 70 over the weekend. Yes. The best day will be Saturday. There is a chance for rain again on Sunday.
Oh.
Look at Gizzy. I don't know why, but when I look at Gizzy, I think of Yoda. So
I do too. Look at those ears.
A nice day for a walk it is.
It is.
Later on this afternoon.
Great hairdo he has.
Oh, I love that. I'm trying to come up with my best foghorn this morning. Just like,
Yeah. Just pull it up on your phone.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, stay with us. The Morning Sprint is up next on News 3 Now This Morning.
It's 6:51, time for the morning sprint. Hattie has another day of rain chances in our forecast.
And Christina Laurie is live in Mount Horeb this morning, where you can help bring clean water to people across the globe this weekend. But we start in Washington this morning, where Attorney General William Barr says he does not intend to show up for a House Judiciary Committee hearing later today. Barr spent 5 hours in front of a Senate committee yesterday answering questions about his summary of the Mueller report and his decision not to charge President Trump with obstruction of justice. Barr could be held in contempt of Congress if he doesn't appear today. The House Judiciary Committee also wants to hear from Robert Mueller himself. Mueller is scheduled to testify in a couple of weeks on May 15th.
The University of North Carolina at Charlotte is remembering the 2 students killed in a shooting this week, including one who died as a hero. Police say 21-year-old Riley Howell was killed after charging and tackling the shooter, pinning him down until police arrived. The 22-year-old suspect is facing 2 counts of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. Police still don't know why that shooting happened.
Floodwaters are slowly going down in Davenport, Iowa this morning. Iowa's 3rd largest city saw floodwaters from the Mississippi River rush into its downtown after a levee broke. The river ended up cresting just shy of its all-time record set in 1993. Now flood concerns are carrying down the river, including in St. Louis, which is bracing for its 4th worst flood ever.
We do have some rain in the forecast, but this morning we're dealing with fog. Visibility is less than a mile in many spots this morning. In fact, it's near 0 in Monroe. So take it easy as you head to work. Plan a little extra time to get to your destination. Light rain showers from Madison and points to the south and east can be expected this morning. We'll dry out for the afternoon and turn just a little bit warmer than yesterday. Starting in the low 40s this morning, climbing to highs in the mid-50s this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Hattie. The Dane County Board will hear 4 different options for the county jail at a meeting later today. All 4 options carry a price tag that's at least double the $76 million that was originally budgeted. At a community meeting last night, people said they didn't want any money going to a new jail and instead would like to see diversion programs. Sheriff Dave Mahoney said something has to be done because the current space is inhumane. The county board chair says they likely won't have a decision for what a new jail would look like and where it would go until June.
Cross Plains police are investigating who's responsible for $25,000 in fake bills that a resident found this week and turned into police. Officers say the $100 bills all had the same serial numbers, had a small Chinese symbol on them, and the texture wasn't right. All signs they were fake. That money was turned over to the Secret Service for analysis.
Counterfeit bills, a problem down in Rock County, too. 3 people are in custody this morning after trying to use fake money at Emilio's in Janesville. Police say the restaurant reported 2 customers passing the fake bills and then leaving the store. Officers found those suspects at a nearby Super 8 hotel. 34-year-old Elijah Robinson and 18-year-old Marquis Harris, both from Chicago, were arrested there. A 3rd person was also arrested, 26-year-old Janya DeJairo, on outstanding warrants.
Police say 2 teens pointed what looked like a gun at a Middleton student from their vehicle earlier this week. Police and school resource officers worked together to identify that car from security cameras. They were able to find it in the teens parked at Jefferson Middle School. It turns out the kids had 3 BB guns with them. They're now facing charges for possessing weapons on school property.
A controversial Rastafarian church is now suing the city of Madison. The Lion of Judah House of Rastafari says the city and police have violated their First Amendment rights. The church found a legal loophole to bring marijuana to Madison. The city sent the church a cease and desist letter last month. Now the church's leaders say the city has no authority over them, describing the city's actions as threatening and harassing.
The Rock County Health Department is giving the all clear to a Taco John's location in Newville after a bug infestation was discovered earlier this week. This is video from Monday. You can see the ants all over the restaurant's kitchen. The health department says they inspected the restaurant the next day and the issue had been resolved by then.
Students in DeForest will honor the life and sacrifice of Sun Prairie Fire Captain Corey Barr tonight. The DeForest Area High School Band and Choir is holding a dedication concert for Barr at 7 this evening at the school's Performing Arts Center. Barr's widow, Abby, went to college with the band director there and will be in attendance tonight.
You can come down to Grundle Park in Mount Horeb this Saturday to help the community here raise money and awareness for a cause many of us take for granted: access to fresh drinking water. Now, the town's annual Run Walk for Water is a fundraiser for Living Water International to help them drill a $5,500 fresh water well in developing countries. Without a well nearby, millions of women and children around the world have to walk an average of 3 miles a day just to get enough water to get their families through the day. Saturday's walk will simulate that trek. Walkers will begin the race with an empty bucket. Halfway through, they'll fill it with water, and they'll finish the race carrying it back. The event kicks off at 10 o'clock.
Thank you so much, Christina. 6:56 now. Let's turn it over to Jason Ryan this morning with a look at your first alert traffic. Hey, Jason.
Hey there. We've got some fog on this early Thursday. It can make for some interesting traffic around town, so give yourself some extra time behind the wheel. And remember, turn your headlights on. No issues on the Beltline in either direction. The highways and the interstate are clear, too. Downtown is also problem-free as well. Well, look out over on Verona Road, and the construction has started to back up traffic on Highway PD, as well as some tie-ups on Raymond Road. Overall, it's still a light traffic morning, but please be careful with that fog that's still hanging around. With First Alert Traffic, I'm Jason Ryan.
Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jason has the right idea this morning. It is foggy. Here's the view from Queen Bee Radio Skycam. It's really the only view I have to offer you this morning. Fog isn't quite as thick there. Visibility is less than a mile, though, in many spots. Our forecast calls for a chance for a few showers this morning. Otherwise, high temperatures climbing back into the mid-50s this afternoon. One more day, guys. We do have some sun tomorrow.
We're almost to the weekend and some sunshine. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Make it a great Thursday.
Have a good one.